I found a woman who looks exactly like me on TikTok. And when I say exactly like me, I don't mean we have the same hair color. I don't mean people might mistake us for sisters. I mean she has my face, my body, my voice, even the tiny scar beneath my left eyebrow that I've had since I fell off my bike when I was 7. But that's not the part that scares me. The part that scares me is that she's posting videos from inside my house. And last night, she posted a video of me sleeping. It started 3 weeks ago. I was lying in bed scrolling through TikTok. It was almost midnight, and I should have been asleep. I had work at 8 the next morning, but I'd already reached that dangerous point where I'd been scrolling for so long that putting my phone down felt impossible. Cooking videos. Relationship drama. A woman cleaning a swimming pool that looked like it hadn't been touched since 1994. Then I saw her. At first, I thought TikTok had somehow shown me one of my own videos. I actually laughed. The woman on my screen was sitting at a small white vanity, brushing her hair. My vanity. I had bought it online 2 years ago. There was a tiny pink jewelry box on the left side, a glass perfume bottle beside it, and a dried bouquet of roses hanging upside down on the wall. My roses. My ex-boyfriend gave them to me on our 3rd anniversary. I'd kept them even after we broke up. I don't know why. The woman slowly dragged a brush through her dark hair. Once. Twice. 3 times. Then she looked into the camera. I stopped breathing. She was me. I immediately clicked on the account. The username was @Mara after midnight. My name is Mara. The profile picture was completely black. No bio. No links. She had 17 followers. And 6 videos. The oldest had been uploaded 9 days earlier. I clicked it. The video showed my kitchen. The camera was sitting on the counter, facing the refrigerator. For nearly 30 seconds, nothing happened. Then she walked into the room. She was wearing a white nightgown. I don't own a white nightgown. She opened my refrigerator and stared inside. That's all she did. She didn't take anything. She didn't move. She just stood there, staring. The video ended. I watched the next video. She was standing in my hallway. The next one showed her sitting on my couch. The 4th was filmed in my bathroom. She stood in front of the mirror with her back to the camera. For 45 seconds. Then, without turning around, she said, "Do you think she knows yet?" I dropped my phone. Literally. It hit me directly in the face. Normally, I would have screamed several words that would make my mother ashamed of me. But I couldn't move. I just stared at the ceiling. Do you think she knows yet? Who was she talking to? I picked my phone back up. The video had restarted. I watched it again. Do you think she knows yet? Her voice. My voice. There was no difference. I opened the comments. There were only 3. The first was from an account called Watcher17. It said, "Not yet." The second comment said, "Soon." The third comment was from Mara after midnight. She had replied with a pink heart. I blocked the account. Then I locked every door in my house. I didn't sleep. I checked every room. Every closet. Under my bed. I even checked the attic, although the attic was basically just insulation and a Christmas tree I hadn't used in 4 years. There was no one in my house. I checked the windows. Locked. Back door. Locked. The small window above my kitchen sink was locked too. By 3 in the morning, I had convinced myself it was some kind of AI scam. Someone had stolen pictures of me. Maybe they found videos from my old Instagram account. The house was harder to explain. But maybe it wasn't actually my house. Lots of people owned white vanities. Lots of people had pink jewelry boxes. Lots of people kept dead flowers from relationships they should have emotionally moved on from. I laughed when I thought that. It made me feel better. So I went back to bed. And eventually, I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up late. My alarm hadn't gone off. I grabbed my phone. It was dead. Which was strange. I'd plugged it in before I went to sleep. The charger was still connected to the wall. But the cable had been pulled out of my phone. I stared at it for a few seconds. Then I remembered the TikTok account. I charged my phone just enough to turn it on. I opened TikTok. The account was still blocked. Good. I told myself I was being ridiculous. I got dressed. I went to work. And by lunchtime, I had almost forgotten about it. Then my friend Tessa texted me. "Okay, what is this?" There was a link beneath the message. A TikTok link. My stomach tightened. I clicked it. Mara after midnight. She had posted a new video. The video had been uploaded at 3:14 that morning. The camera was positioned in the corner of my bedroom. I could see my bed. I could see myself sleeping. For 10 seconds, nothing happened. Then she crawled out from underneath my bed. I wish I were making that up. She crawled slowly. Her fingers appeared first. Then her arms. Then her head. My head. Her hair covered her face as she pulled herself across the floor. She stood beside my bed. And watched me sleep. For 2 minutes. 2 full minutes. At the end of the video, she leaned toward the camera. She moved her hair out of her face. And whispered. "She knows." I threw up in the employee bathroom. Tessa called me 6 times. I didn't answer. I went to my manager and told her I was sick. Technically, it wasn't a lie. I drove home. I don't know why. That's the stupid part. Every horror movie I've ever watched tells you not to return to the creepy house. But it was my house. My clothes were there. My laptop. My grandmother's necklace. My entire life. And I still wasn't completely convinced the videos were real. I thought someone was messing with me. I thought maybe there were cameras hidden in the house. I thought a lot of things. I didn't think there was another me living under my bed. Not yet. I parked across the street. I watched my house for 20 minutes. Nothing moved. Finally, I got out. I opened the front door. Mara? I don't know why I called my own name. Maybe because I didn't know what else to call her. No answer. I searched the house again. This time, I recorded everything on my phone. The kitchen. Living room. Bathroom. Closets. Then I went into my bedroom. I stood beside the bed. I stared at the dark space underneath it. I couldn't make myself look. For almost a minute, I just stood there. Then I turned on my phone's flashlight. I got down on my knees. And looked. Nothing. Just a shoe. A cardboard box. And an embarrassing amount of dust. I laughed. It came out sounding more like a sob. Then my phone vibrated. TikTok notification. Mara after midnight posted a new video. I almost screamed. The account was blocked. I had blocked it. But the notification was there. I clicked. The video had been posted 6 seconds earlier. It showed me kneeling beside my bed. I froze. On the screen, I watched myself holding my phone flashlight. The video was being recorded from inside my closet. Behind me. Very slowly, I turned my head. The closet door was closed. I ran. I didn't check the closet. I didn't grab clothes. I didn't grab my laptop. I ran out of the house and drove to Tessa's apartment. I told her everything. She didn't believe me. Not at first. Then I showed her the videos. We watched them together. All 7. When the last video ended, Tessa didn't speak. She replayed it. Then replayed it again. What? I asked. She zoomed in. The video showed me kneeling beside my bed. My closet behind me. Tessa pointed at the bottom of the screen. The closet door. There was a tiny gap underneath it. And in the darkness, someone was looking out. We called the police. 2 officers searched my house. They found nothing. No cameras. No hidden person. No sign of forced entry. One officer asked if I had an ex-boyfriend. I said yes. They questioned him. He lived 3 states away. The other officer suggested the videos were digitally altered. I asked him how someone digitally altered a video of me that had been recorded seconds before it was uploaded. He didn't answer. I stayed with Tessa. For 4 days, nothing happened. Mara after midnight stopped posting. The account disappeared. I started sleeping again. I started believing it was over. Then, on Friday night, Tessa woke me up. She was standing beside the couch. Her face was pale. "Mara," she whispered. "What? Where's my phone?" I sat up. "I don't know. I left it on the coffee table." We looked at the coffee table. Nothing. Then we heard music. Soft music. Coming from Tessa's bedroom. Her phone was in there. Playing a TikTok video. We walked toward the bedroom. I stayed behind Tessa. She pushed the door open. Her phone was sitting in the center of her bed. The screen was glowing. Mara after midnight. New video. Tessa picked up the phone. The video showed her apartment. Her living room. Me asleep on the couch. The camera moved slowly toward me. Someone was holding it. The person walked around the couch. Then the camera turned. She showed her face. My face. She smiled. Then she whispered, "I don't like this house." The video ended. Tessa started crying. I didn't. I think I'd moved past fear. There is a point where you're so terrified that your brain simply stops reacting. I stared at the screen. Then I noticed something. The video had been posted 3 hours earlier. At 1:07 a.m. I had been awake at 1:07. Tessa and I had been watching a movie. She had been sitting beside me. There was no woman in the apartment. I opened the account. The old videos were gone. There was only one video now. The one from Tessa's apartment. The profile had changed too. There was a bio. 3 words. "Let me back." I stared at it. Back? Back where? Then Tessa screamed. She dropped her phone. She was staring at me. "What?" She backed away. "Mara." "What?" "Your eye." I ran to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror. My left eye was completely black. I screamed. I touched it. No pain. I could still see. Then I blinked. My eye was normal. Tessa had followed me into the bathroom. She saw it change back. Neither of us spoke. Then my reflection smiled. I didn't. My reflection smiled. She tilted her head and raised one finger to her lips. Shoo! I stumbled backward. Tessa screamed again. The bathroom lights went out. Something grabbed my wrist. It felt like a hand. My hand. I heard my own voice beside my ear. You weren't supposed to notice me. I woke up on Tessa's bathroom floor. Police were there. Paramedics. Tessa was crying. She said I had collapsed. She said I'd started screaming at the mirror. Then I passed out. I asked about the lights. They never went out. I asked about someone grabbing me. No one touched me. Then I asked Tessa about my reflection. She looked confused. Mara. She hadn't seen it. She hadn't seen my eye turn black either. According to Tessa, I'd walked into the bathroom alone. I'd stared into the mirror and started screaming. I reminded her. She was the one who told me about my eye. She shook her head. No, I wasn't. I grabbed her phone. I opened TikTok. Mara after midnight was gone. Again. There was no video from Tessa's apartment. Tessa swore she'd never seen the account before. That's when I started questioning myself. Maybe I was sick. Maybe the police officer was right. Maybe none of it was real. I scheduled an appointment with a doctor. I took 2 weeks off work. I stayed with my mother. I deleted TikTok. For a while, things were normal. Then my mother asked me a strange question. We were eating breakfast. She was spreading jam on toast. She didn't look at me when she asked, "Do you still talk in your sleep?" I laughed. I talk in my sleep? You used to. When? When you were little. I asked what I said. My mother stopped spreading the jam. She put the knife down. You used to have conversations. With who? She looked at me. Yourself. My mother told me it started when I was 4. She would hear me talking in my bedroom at night. At first, she thought I had an imaginary friend. Then she realized I called the imaginary friend Mara. My own name. She said I would sit in front of my bedroom mirror for hours. Talking. Laughing. Sometimes arguing. One night, my mother heard me screaming. She ran into my room. I was standing in front of the mirror. My hands were pressed against the glass. I kept saying, "She's trying to come out." My mother covered every mirror in the house. Eventually, I stopped talking to her. I forgot. My mother didn't. I asked why she'd never told me. She said she thought I'd grown out of it. Then I showed her the scar beneath my eyebrow. Do you remember how I got this? She looked confused. You fell off your bike. Did you see me fall? She didn't answer. Mom. Her face changed. I knew. What happened? She started crying. When I was 7 years old, my mother found me unconscious in my bedroom. The mirror was shattered. There was blood everywhere. I had a deep cut beneath my eyebrow. When I woke up, I told her I'd fallen off my bike. She knew that wasn't true. But I refused to say anything else. For days, I wouldn't look into a mirror. Then, I became normal again. Mostly. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was in my old childhood bedroom. My mother had redecorated years ago. But the mirror was still there. The same mirror. She had moved it into the guest room. I don't know why. Maybe people have trouble throwing away mirrors. They're strange objects when you think about it. We spend our entire lives looking at versions of ourselves that don't technically exist. I lay in bed, staring at the mirror. At 3:14 a.m., my phone vibrated. TikTok notification. I had deleted TikTok, but the notification appeared anyway. Mara After Midnight posted a new video. My hands shook as I opened it. The video showed a little girl. Me. 7 years old. Standing in front of the mirror. The video looked old. Grainy. Like it had been recorded on a camcorder. Little me pressed her hands against the glass. My reflection did the same. Then the little girl stepped backward. The reflection didn't. The reflection stayed against the glass. She smiled. Little me started crying. The reflection opened her mouth. Trade. The child shook her head. Trade. No. Trade. No. The reflection slammed both hands against the mirror. The glass shattered. The video went black. I stared at my phone. A memory came back. Not slowly. All at once. I remembered her. I remembered sitting in front of the mirror. I remembered talking to her. She told me she lived on the other side. She told me she was lonely. She told me she was me. But better. She said if we traded places, I could live in the mirror. Just for one night. I said no. She became angry. And the night the mirror shattered, she tried to pull me through. I fought her. The glass cut my face. My mother came running. And she disappeared. I thought she was gone. But she wasn't. She had been waiting. The TikTok video ended. A new one appeared immediately. Live. Mara After Midnight was live. There were 17 viewers. I clicked. The screen showed my bedroom. My childhood bedroom. I was visible in bed. The camera was behind me. I turned around. Nothing. I looked back at the phone. On the live stream, she was standing beside the mirror. I couldn't see her in the room. Only on my phone. She smiled. The comments started appearing. Not yet. Soon. Let her out. Trade. 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 17 accounts. The same 17 followers she'd had when I first found her. Then she stepped toward my bed. I ran to the mirror. I grabbed the small chair beside the desk. I lifted it over my head. On my phone, she screamed. No. I swung. The chair hit the mirror. The glass cracked. She screamed again. I hit it a second time. The mirror shattered. My phone went black. The room became silent. Then I heard my mother running down the hallway. She opened the door. She looked at the broken mirror. Then at me. Mara? I dropped the chair. It's over. My mother stared at me. For a long time. Then she whispered. No. She backed away. Mom? She started crying. No. What? She covered her mouth. I stepped toward her. She screamed. Stay away from me. I stopped. Mom, it's me. She shook her head. No, it's not. I looked down. There was blood on my hand. A cut beneath my eyebrow. The same scar. Fresh again. I ran to the broken mirror. Most of the glass was scattered across the floor, but one large piece remained inside the frame. I looked into it. My reflection was crying. I wasn't. She slammed her hands against the glass. She screamed. I couldn't hear her, but I could read her lips. That's my body. I smiled. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Behind me, my mother screamed. I looked at my reflection again. At Mara. The real Mara. Trapped on the other side. And suddenly, I remembered everything. I remembered waiting in the mirror. I remembered watching her grow up. I remembered every time she looked at herself. Every morning. Every bathroom. Every photograph. Every black phone screen. Every window at night. She thought she'd gotten rid of me when she was 7. She didn't. I just learned how to wait. So yes. I found a woman who looks exactly like me on TikTok. She was posting videos from my house. She watched me sleep. She followed me. She tried to warn me. At least. That's what Mara believed. But she misunderstood. The account was never mine. The 17 viewers weren't helping me. They were watching. Waiting to see which one of us would win. And if you're wondering where Mara is now, don't worry. She's safe. I see her every morning. Sometimes she screams. Sometimes she begs. Sometimes she presses her hands against the glass and mouths my mother's name. But lately, she's been quiet. I think she's finally starting to understand. This is my life now. My house. My mother. My face. And tonight, I'm posting one more video. I already recorded it. It's just me sitting at my vanity, brushing my hair. Once. Twice. 3 times. Then I look into the camera and ask, do you think she knows yet?